the first recording. So I figured out how to turn the volume on. Let's do 15. Hopefully that'll help you figure out the rest. These are the answer for 13 and 14. Number 15, let me see the problem. Y squared plus x. Y squared equals to x. Now, this one had the square on the x, so I input the x first. I found the x, then I found the y to get the output. But in this case, the squared is on the y. I need to work with the range first, and then to find the domain, okay, which is also called the input, and this is also called the output, or the y, and the domain is the x. Alright, so what you do is you pick any number for y. So we got your x and your y. Let's say your y, you pick a 0 for y. Okay, you need to find your x. So y squared equals to x. So y squared equals to whatever that is. Y squared we say is 0, y is 0, y squared, then your answer is 0. So your answer here, your domain is 0. Let's pick 1. 1 for your y. Find your x, you square it. It's also 1. Let's pick a negative 1. Pick a negative 1 for your range. And then that squared is a positive 1. Notice the domain are the same automatically. No, not a function. The last one, let's say we pick 2. 2 squared is 4. The domain is 4. Okay, you graph that to see what it looks like. It's not good. Okay. This is your x, this is your y, domain, range. X is 0, and y is 0. So 0, 0 is the origin. X is 1, y is 1. X is 1, y is 1. 1, 1. X is 1. X is 1, y is negative 1. X is 4, y is 2. So we got a graph that looks like that. Not a function, because if you draw a vertical line, it'll cross 2 points where the domain is the same, creating the same domain. Oh, that's my honey. So you explain that. Not a function. Because the vertical line test will cross the graph twice. Okay? That's 15. 16 is this problem. Y equals radical x plus 5. Y equals radical x plus 5. Double check, make sure I wrote it right. Yes, I did. Alright, that's 16. Only 2 more to go. Okay, because you choose x here because x is under the radical. Okay? Domain and range. Input, output. X, Y. Okay. Let's choose your first domain, your input X, 0. So square root of 0 plus 5. Oh, I don't like that. It doesn't create a perfect square equals to Y, but you can use a calculator. Square root of 5. Uh-oh. I like chick flicks movie. Square root of 5 equals 2.2. Let's round it to the nearest 10. 2.2. So 2.2. Okay, let's say 1 plus 5. Square root of 1 plus 5, or square root of 6. Oh, I'm going to choose bigger numbers because I'm going to choose a number that makes a perfect square. So I'm going to choose 4. It makes my life easier. So my input is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. So my output is 3. So I don't have to use a calculator. Okay? That's 1, 2. So 3, what plus 5, x plus 5, make a perfect square, 9, 20. No, that's too big. I don't have a graph big enough. 16, 11, I can do 11. 11 plus 5. 11 plus 5 is 16, and the square root of 16. So 11, my output is 4. 4, okay? Now, my last number, 5, the square root of what number plus 5? I say a negative 1. X was a negative 1. Plus 5 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. This is a function because I said to you choose negative numbers, right? Let's say I chose 4 already. Let's say I chose negative 4 plus 5. Yeah, square root of 1. Square root of 1 is 1. I like that one even better. So negative 4. My answer is a 1. So all my domains are different. And therefore it's a function. So let's graph it. I wrote too big on this one. So I didn't give myself any room on the side. Okay, let's try it though. No. Okay. Darn it. Anyways. X. 0, 2.2. 0, here's 1, 2, 3, 2.2 is about right there. Okay? We're estimating here. That's why I don't like to use decimal. 4 and 3. 4 and 3. 11 and 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 and 4. Negative 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative and 1. Oh, my husband must need me. Okay? So 5 and 0, I think, is like that. Yes, honey. What's up? Oh, nothing? I'm recording my video. That's why I didn't answer the first time. Okay, I'll call you once I'm done. I have only one more problem, okay? you have something funny to tell me. Bye-bye. Okay, number 17. Y equals negative, oh my gosh, hurry, hurry. Y equals negative absolute value of x. Okay, remember, it's not exact. This is a negative 1 right here, time. All right? So let's choose our input, output, our domain and range. Domain and range. Okay, let's choose our domain because the absolute value is on the x. We choose x. Negative, let's choose negative 1. So if we choose negative 1, what is our range, our output? Okay, negative 1 times the absolute value of negative 1. Absolute value of negative 1 is 1 times that negative 1 is negative 1. So output is negative 1. What if our domain is a positive 1? So put in x, we put a positive 1. So we get negative 1, so we put a positive 1. Absolute value of 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1 times that negative 1, you get negative 1. Okay, let's choose 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. 0 away from times the negative 1 is a 0. So 0, input 0, outcome 0. One last one. Let's choose 2. Absolute value of 2. Input 2 times the negative 1. Absolute value of 2 is 2 times a negative 1 is negative 2. Graph that. Oh my gosh, I made it big. Oh well. I graph that. Okay, your x value is negative 1. Oh, that's not negative 1. This is 0. This is 1. This is 2. That's negative 1. Negative 1. Negative 1. Down here. 1, negative 1 here. 0, 0 there. 2, negative 2 here. Oh, so this graph goes like that. Parabola facing down. It's a function because none of the domain repeats, or the vertical line only pass one of the graph, okay? So we write function. You can write y equals the negative absolute value of x is a function because none of the domain repeats. Because the domain, none of the repeats. And the vertical line tests only pass the graph one time. Okay? Any questions? If you do, remember to ask tomorrow. And that is it.